Alright, I'm gonna get cracking.
Let's get cracking.
Let's go. Yeah.
What you got today?
Tropic lightning, baby.
Ooh. That just hits the soul.
I always gotta get like 3 or 4 like good mouthfuls.
Yeah. I'm like a enjoy the first sip guy, and then it's just like, okay, I know I'm gonna get some smooth energy with this, with no crash. The little nootropics, the electrolytes, I'm gonna win.
Oh yeah, we're gonna win.
I like to sip on it though, and it's kind of a downfall because then I don't get like the maximum benefits of the caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta work on getting it down a little bit faster, but you know.
Yeah, I like the first hit so it can wake me up a little bit. That first drink.
To the vein, brother. To the vein.
Yeah, dude, that first sip does hit a little bit different though. The flavor, like just the first taste of that just sweet tropic lightning in the morning.
Man, all of them. All of them.
It's so good.
I haven't had a cherry lime in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to give it a go again, eventually, but down the line.
Not one of your favorites?
I actually I don't have anything against it. It's just like not one that I would actively choose. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I'm in the same spot with it. It's like I do like it, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna drink it until somebody gives me it.
Yeah, and like I think in life that's kind of what's it all about, right? Like, hey, I like to do CrossFit type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to actively do CrossFit.
No, definitely not. No.
But if we get together and we're going to do a hero WOD, or if we're going to do something as a team, John Six is doing CrossFit.
Absolutely.
Because that's what exercise is all
before,
about.
actually.
Yes.
Yeah, he put me through I remember back in the day, me, you, and Caleb did a workout where and I was just like, oh my god, like this is what you do on your own. Okay.
That's what we do on a daily basis.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Yesterday was a long day. I ended up with like 42,000 steps.
Holy shit.
It was like,
bro.
Oops.
Weren't you off too?
No. So I ended up switching with somebody. Somebody needed to off for an appointment. So I'm like, yeah, normally I'm off Thursdays. So I'm like, yeah, I'll switch with you, no problem. And then, then it breaks up my weekend, so it's okay. It keeps me in a routine. Fine with it. But got up, rocking and rolling. The guy that I switched with works nights. So, well, it's that mid shift. It's that noon to 10:30. So,
basically nights.
Mids into nights. And so I got up, normal routine, rocking and rolling. And then, I was just like, oh, no. This is going to be a long day. So I got both my 75 hard workouts done before work. So, even workout, because I get up at I got up at 3, so I slept in an hour. Got in a workout, and then waited 3 hours, got in my second workout, so check, right? But then realizing that I walked in with 25,000 steps, and then I got 10 hours of work.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's wild.
We ended up with 42,000 last night.
Let's go. Setting records.
Oh no, that's not even a record, brother.
Oh,
not even
really?
close.
What's your record then?
Over 98,000 steps in a day.
What the Bro,
Spartan racing.
Did you calculate how many miles that was? Was that a couple marathons?
Spartan racing, bro. Spartan racing. I mean,
Jesus,
on the ultra for Spartan racing, you do 2 laps of the course, which equals a marathon. So, and it's Spartan miles, so it's more towards 30 to 32 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wild. Yeah, no, I'm just thinking about the highest step days I've had is 50K, but that's actually something that just kind of popping off a little bit. Summer Smash.
Oh man,
that's the times I've always gotten 50K plus.
Dude, and we're gonna get 50K plus again every day.
Oh yeah,
I'm so excited. Summer Smash is gonna be awesome. The tickets just got sold. I got people in my DMs. They're just like, I got tickets. Then there's this other side of things where people are like, no.
It's I didn't get it this time. Even people that have been here past 3 years, I'm like, you didn't get one.
Damn.
I'm so sorry.
You had to be fast like lightning to get them this year. It just probably insane.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's usually, ever since I've been here, I know the average is probably a little faster now, but it's always been under a minute and a half that every single ticket sells out.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely nuts.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know it's under a minute now.
And it's awesome to see the people support First Phorm like that. I mean, they help pay our bills, so I'm very happy that they decided they pay my paycheck.
Absolutely.
And most of the time they're amazing people and push this brand forward, push the world forward. So
absolutely. But yeah, dude, seeing all the people post all their past Summer Smash photos and videos and stuff, dude, is
Getting me pumped.
hyped up, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so lean at Summer Smash this year.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna be right there too. Probably like I think it's like 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Or maybe 6, 4 to 6.
4 to 6 weeks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the
nice.
dude. I'm gonna be the leanest I've ever been, which is insane. So
That's saying something.
It is. It is. Now I gotta work on just getting my tan on, and before Summer Smash, before the people arrive, because I'm not about the fake bacon. So I gotta get outside. I love getting outside though. So that's.
Oh yeah.
That's
it. I will not be tanning.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get skin cancer.
You see the way that your skin tone kind of goes with the redheadedness ish. Yeah,
kind of screwed on that.
Genetics.
Actually, this is a just quick little side story
I will
about
not
getting
be
burnt. I swept the parking lot for about an hour before Summer Smash one time.
Was this 2021 when everybody got roasted?
Yes, it was the same time when it was so freaking hot out.
The sun was out with no clouds for 3 days straight.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we had dudes who they had tents and stuff to protect them from the sun, but we had a dude come back looking like freaking Larry the Lobster. His arms were bright red. It was Nick Leiber. So he actually looked like Larry the Lobster. Dude's a freaking tank. So
and he survived. He still works here.
But yeah, no, I literally swept the parking lot for 1 hour, and I come back and my forearm is bright red.
Oh my
Took
god!
Under an hour for me to be completely burnt. So 100 SPF for your boy.
Put on liberally every 2 hours.
Or I'm done for.
Dude, you have to do it this year because like if you would get burnt and you tried to shave, you would have your beard.
Yeah. Hey, good thing I got the spray tan for the body.
That'll work. Yeah.
Cover up all the
How does that all work? Because like I've never like day of, day before. How do you?
So it's usually a couple days before that you get like a base coat. Day before you do another, so it's multiple layers of tan that you get.
Yeah.
Some base coat, couple layers, and then you get touched up right before you go on stage. They have this like
they have like a touch-up booth.
No, it's like a sponge, and then you put on this like tanner and fill in spots and stuff.
Okay, that's neat.
Yeah, and then they oil you up on the day of too. Get the baby oil.
Get the baby oil going. Hell yeah, brother.
You gotta be nice and shiny.
You got that full rock treatment, don't you? You got the got darker skin tone and the baby oil.
Oh yeah. You gotta make it perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and then also I remember vividly that getting a tan is like the coldest I've ever been. Because all you got is a sock on. That's all you can wear, and and it's the coldest like airbrush tan.
Oh no!
So it's cold air blowing on your
yep.
body the whole time. So it's just like you're shaking because you're no body fat.
Yep.
Cold air blowing on you.
Yep. Your body's just like, what is this?
I remember the first time I'm just like shaking, trying to get through it the first time. It's not looking forward to that, honestly.
No, the prep's okay, the training's okay, the lead up's okay, but that fucking tan, man.
No, it's
no.
You know, like and the smell is. Just,
oh no, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it's not too crazy. You get used to it, but
it's just like a different type of smell that you don't smell normally.
As soon as when I do events, like when I do shows, like I'm working the Midwest that everybody's doing, that Derek and.
Oh, cool! Yeah,
and
that's coming up quick.
Yeah, no, it's on the 27th actually.
I'm in New Jersey, but yeah, that's cool. All right, go ahead.
But yeah, no, every time I walk into a room where people are competing, I'm like, oh, yep, that's that tan smell. Like, that's the most nostalgic part of it.
Yeah, it's just like, takes me back, baby. It takes me back.
Yeah, smells are very nostalgic.
That's funny. Yeah. That's cool. I never even thought of that side of things on the lead up, so.
Yeah, and it's definitely different to see a redhead, bright orange skin. So I definitely remember all of it.
Don't even say bronze, you say orange.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, because it's like the same color as my beard when I get it, so it all blends in.
Do you have to shave for your comp or no? Like shave?
So I don't go all the way down to bald.
Okay.
But I get it real short.
Got it.
You'll see the shortest you've probably ever seen my beard. But, yeah, no, I think keeping it really short it'll work for classic too, because a lot of guys back in the day used to have like their mustaches and goatees and stuff back in the 70s in that golden era. So I'm gonna try it out.
If I get knocked,
throwing it back. Yeah. Yeah, no, if I get knocked down a couple points for it, I'll definitely shave it next time.
Are you doing a second comp later in the year, or I don't want to say just, are you doing just this one this year?
So right now it's just the one.
Okay.
It honestly depends.
All right.
I'm thinking about doing another one later in the year because it's the third year they've done it. I got to work the first one.
Okay.
But it's up in Chicago, and it's run extremely well.
What's the dates on that?
It's called the Mid-American Classic. It's usually like November or December.
Okay, I was just about to say, because you're not fucking with our Hawaii trip.
Oh, no, not at all.
I'm putting my foot down.
Absolutely not.
I mean, you definitely can because you want to be successful and I want you to win. Yeah. So, if you had to...
Yeah, and it's not like... I remember Derek was saying that he might try to work for nationals if he wins this show. I won't be doing nationals. I ain't ready for that yet, so...
Hey man, if you win, you never know.
Yeah, hey,
might start to snowball.
If I win the class, then it might be a different.
That'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty dope. So, but how's training going?
Dude,
little training update.
It's going very, very well.
That's cool.
As you know, I was sick there for a week, so didn't really get a whole lot of training in there. But that's a great point to bring up is that sometimes you do need that extra rest there because. Now I feel better than I have in a long time, to be honest. Like I was going hard on that bulk for 8, 9, 10 months with my training with small breaks in between. But after this full week, dude, I feel so much better. Like
the body just came back refreshed and ready to rock. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I know you've gotten to a point where you're like, oh shit, like.
Oh dude, I've dug a hole so deep, like my body's just been like, no. No more stress. It's just like, because that's what working out is. It's putting stress on the body in order to improve.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, in today's world, we have the stress of social media. We have the stress of work. We have the stress of significant others. We have the stress of pets. All of this stuff is stress. And then when you throw working out on top of it, especially in your situation, a compromised immune system because you were sick, working out wouldn't benefit you at all.
No.
It would be such a detriment. It would elongate the amount of time that you are sick, and it would just, man, it would actually dig you deeper into the hole before you got out.
Oh, 100%.
And there's like, I remember, because even back in the day, like, oh, I'm feeling sick, I'm just going to go sweat it out. That is the last thing you should do. You should drink water and rest. If you can get outside into the sun, get outside into the sun, right? Like,
absolutely.
Like, just walk a little bit because, like, you want to take as much stress off of your body so then it can fight that infection or whatever you're going through in order to recover faster.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just a quick side note on that, too. Most people don't know, like, if you're genuinely sick, like, you have a temperature, you need more calories because your body, like, when you have a temperature,
you're fighting.
You actually burn more calories because your internal temperature is too high.
Yep.
So you need more calories to recover faster.
Yeah, your body literally turns up the thermostat, which makes your metabolism burn, quote unquote, hotter.
Yeah.
And then it needs more calories in order to keep working to fight off that infection. Like that's just simple science that I'm not a scholar, but you can just put those ones together. It's just step by step, right? Like your body needs more calories because it's fighting something. And that means it needs to be fueled for that fight.
Absolutely. Yeah, even if you're not moving at all, you need a little bit more.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I digress. Let's get back to the training.
Oh yeah,
for the bodybuilding. Yeah, we let it go a little bit. That always happens. But yeah.
Welcome to Guys with Thighs, y'all.
Oh yeah. But yeah, with my training, with that week off, like getting back, like I'm starting to respond properly. I'm getting sore again. Like the day or two after, like I'm looking a little bit bigger after each workout. Like you can tell that you're responding well if you're actually like getting sore and improving. Like each week, it's been 2 weeks now, my second workout, I've gotten better after that first one. But really the biggest thing that I noticed was like I'm starting to get sore again. I wasn't getting as sore, and if you aren't getting sore, you're not you're not really going to be.
Was that because your intensity level wasn't there because you were working your way back up? Or what do you think?
So I think the soreness wasn't there because this is something that happens to a lot of people that are super consistent with their training, and your sensitivity to training goes down. So essentially, it's like building a tolerance to training, and you get used to it to where, like, when you take those couple days or a week off, your sensitivity goes back down, where you can start growing muscle again. But essentially, you get used to the stimulus that you're putting on your muscle each week, even to basically the stimulus you need to keep growing is so much that you can't properly recover from it.
Basically, your minimum effective dose gets so high that therefore you won't gain anymore. Like, you have to do so much just to hit that level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's peaks and valleys.
Yeah. So I'll make sure I get these terms right. Your minimum effective volume is higher than your maximum recoverable volume. So, like, the minimum you need to grow is more than what you can actually recover from. So that's where you need to. That week that I was sick was essentially a deload.
Yep.
And it wasn't planned because I got sick, but it was actually very much needed because I was at that point where the minimum effective outweighed the maximum recoverable. So if you're feeling like you're pushing it and you're hitting a plateau, sometimes you may need to pull back, like we were talking about, like you're digging yourself into a hole that you can't get out of. It happens to people at the end of prep too. I've heard about a lot. I haven't been through it myself, but it's with really, really big guys. So people who are 230 on stage plus when they're really freaking big. If they diet too hard at the end, it's impossible for them to fill out and have that pop in their muscles because they have no glycogen left and they have so much to refill. Like, they dig themselves into a hole they can't get out of. So that's where sometimes you're going really hard and then you pull back a little bit. You can't always redline, or like if you always redline, it's going to halt your progress. Yeah,
and like I call it peaks and valleys. I call it phasing. It is called mesocycles if we really want to get into it. Derek talked about that in one of the prior episodes of Guys with Thighs. And it's basically you take up your volume, you take up your intensity for a time, you reach that peak level, deload brings you back down for a week, and then you're able to climb that mountain again and start seeing results again until you have to deload again.
Yes.
And every single time, those peaks will get higher because when you come down in that valley, in that phase, like you're not going as low. Your body knows. So your baseline is now raised and higher, and then you can keep on climbing.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's what it sounds like when you got sick. It forced you to take a deload week, and now you're back going up the mountain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Fitness is easy. Fitness is simple, not easy, but simple. That comes from Jim Rohn, one of the godfathers of motivational speaking. Like, hey, actually, school is simple. You just got to do the assignments.
Yeah.
But it's not easy, but it's simple. Same with fitness. I think you can put that work. It's simple. They tell you what you got to do most of the time, or at least the general direction. But the not easy part is like, but you got to figure out how to get it done.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So, like, your reps and sets are going to look completely different than my reps and sets.
Yes.
And like, your journey is completely different than mine. But our same fitness, eat healthy, drink water, get sleep is kind of the simple part. It's the same.
Yeah.
But then it's the not easy part that we're working through.
Yeah.
Every day. So.
Exactly. Yeah, and you said like it's not the same for each person, but the basics are the same. But going back to that with like the mesocycles, it's not going to be the same for everybody. Like sometimes it's like usually for me it's 6 to 7 weeks for a mesocycle, where that 6th and 7th week is going to be like full. I'm going all out, as much volume as I can handle. Where some people you may need to do 4 weeks, you may need to do 5, 6, like. Going above 7 for a lot of people, like when you're really advanced, you can go above 7. But going above that for most people is going to be too much. You're going too much straight without any deload at all. Like in the 8-week challenge, that's where, like, I would recommend in the 8-week challenge the last final week to do a deload so that you're nice and rested, so your muscles fill out, so you look good. I think that would actually help. But basically, it's going to be different for each person. It depends on how your body responds.
Dude, the most true answer in all of fitness, it depends.
Yes, sir.
And if any coach or advisor or just person that you're talking to, athlete, is just like, no, this is the way, do this, fucking run from them.
Let's go. Like, run
Get so far away because every answer should start with, it depends. Let's talk about it. What are you doing? And then breaking it down.
Absolutely.
Like, because each person is different. And the answer is always, it depends. What's your best exercise? It depends. What is hurt on you? Because I'm not going to put you in a fully loaded back squat if you have back problems.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you deadlift 500 pounds if you have back problems. Like,
absolutely
or if
not.
you have hip problems, like, so you can't get in proper hinge position, right? So the answer is always, it starts with, it depends. So
yes, it's always, it depends. Like, I actually remember a long time ago we had this thing. I don't know if we've ever done it again since, but it was this thing called Phase 1, and we did like a nutrition seminar, and Dr. Chad Kirksick got to come out, and he was basically he's part of Phorm, helps a lot with like formulation.
we'll throw his link in the bio.
Oh yeah,
in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we can throw his Instagram handle in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically he's done a ton of studies on creatine, beta-alanine, like amino acids, a whole bunch of stuff, because he runs the exercise science department at Lindenwood University.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Yeah, and he's like, if you guys didn't know, the creatine is the most researched supplement on the market, and this guy's done hundreds of those studies.
Love it.
So it's awesome that we have him as a resource. But we asked him in that education course one time, is like, hey, is fitness ever black and white? Are there ever like any like hard answers on either side of the spectrum? He's like, oh, absolutely not. Fitness is all gray areas. It's all somewhere in the middle. Like, there's always a sliding spectrum. Like, yes, this is the general rule, but for the individual, sometimes it's just a little bit different.
Yep.
So you start with a plan, you start with a system, and then you make adjustments along the way depending on how you respond. And I mean, that's actually kind of something
That's money advice right there. Straight cash money.
Absolutely.
Like that's just something that we all, like, me and you see eye to eye on, and clearly I think it needs to get hit home that, like, if somebody's just like, no, this is what we do, it's just like, ooh. That's the importance of having an advisor, and you can get an advisor in the first Phorm app. Shameless plug, because everybody's a NASM certified personal trainer.
Yep.
And if you need help, they give help. Like, that's the whole point of it.
Yes, and they're very, very good at what they do.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that was a good transition into kind of something we want to talk about today, is developing a system, executing it, and then making those adjustments along the way. That's been super important to me within fitness. I think it can apply to every area in life as well.
Yeah, man. I found that the more regimented I can be gives me the more freedom. Right? I know Jocko Willink, he talks about discipline equals freedom.
Sure.
Andy talks about it with his 75 hard tasks. But I've found that when I wake up and I have things to do and I attack it with the proper intent, my life is so much different than if I don't. Right? And having those systems built in to where I wake up, make the bed, feed the cat, get off, walking and talking, like hitting my first workout. That is all before people wake up. And like
2:30 in the morning.
2:30 in the morning, and like that's done on purpose because the world is quiet. And I found that is the best time. And I get asked all the time, why do you get up so early? Man, because you're not up. And it's not the fact that I'm doing more work than you. It's the fact that you're not up to distract me, because I'm like a squirrel kind of guy. Yeah. So I need the world to be quiet.
Yeah.
And that's the system that works for me. Now, some people put that system in the back end of their day. I just like to go to bed. But what systems work for you that you found like was kind of trial and error?
Absolutely, yeah, dude. And you actually said it. I am more of a system at night kind of guy, because I do work night shift. I blame the overnight shifts from back in the day.
Back in the day at HQ, COVID 2020. Gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I've always been a night guy, even before that. But
man, most creators seem to be night guys.
Yeah, I can actually. Now that you say that, most of the.
But it's the same concept because like I mean I guess I get up at 2:30, so it's kind of the night. But
pretty much,
the world is quiet. So then you guys are just like buzzing, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah. So cool. Keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's definitely a night person for me. But with that that first system I wanted to talk about is with like diet, with my meal plan. Is I generally try to eat about at the same time of day, about the same meals. The types of food changes a little bit, but I eat about the same thing each day, so that when I do need to make an adjustment, it's very easy. It's like, oh, take half a cup of rice here, take a cup of rice out here. It's just very small adjustments.
Interchangeable.
Absolutely. Yeah, where you can move things around very easily. And I kind of know what that adjustment is going to do. Like that's where like your coach always asks you, and Matt, hit your calories and protein, so that when they do make an adjustment, they kind of know what's going to happen. Like each person responds a little bit different, but if like, hey, you hit a plateau, and then you've been doing really good, staying consistent, we hit a plateau, then we take out 250 calories. You're probably going to start losing weight again.
Yep.
If you've been very consistent with those calories and protein, so. That's where the system with the diet is very, very important because the adjustments you make are going to be accurate and you can make sure you're headed in the right direction.
Dude, and that's so cool that, because I kind of follow the same thing, right? So right now I'm eating beef for lunch, chicken for dinner. When I'm deep into my cut, that chicken turns into a fish. And I still keep my beef because I like all the positive benefits from it. I like getting the fats because chicken is a little bit leaner, so that's where I get a majority of my fats is from my beef.
The micronutrients.
The micronutrients and everything. Hey, cows eat grass. I'm going to eat the cow, so therefore I will still get micronutrients on top of my microfactor and my greens. Like I'm getting it from real natural food, right? Yes. And I do eat a cup of vegetables with every meal, so. Yes. So then I keep that, but when I'm bulking, here's where like the plug and chug comes, right? So that beef turns into maybe pork, and then maybe that evening meal it goes from a lean fish and a lean chicken to my beef. Yeah. So like I'm just increasing my fats but it all stays around that 8 to 10 ounces depending on my goals. Yeah. So it's just like boom, 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 and it's just being able to plug and chug, and then my carb source is just like potatoes, rice, whatever else you want under the sun, and it's just like, oh, X amount of potatoes equals X amount of rice. I can have a rice, or I can have a potato, and I can just, boom. And it's systematized to where like, this is all kind of the same macros. Yeah. I can just pick off the counter and plug it in.
Absolutely, yeah. So that way you don't have like I'm not saying you have to eat the same exact meals every day. Like you're saying, you're not eating the exact same meals. You're eating the same
variety, but
types of food. But you can mix and match that.
I'm eating a protein source, a carb source, and a starch source. Like here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And like people think it's boring. It's not. Like it. First off, I don't want to say puts it on autopilot, but it's something that I don't have to think of. Like. The amount of things that you can get off your plate, quote unquote, off your mental plate to like create a system around, like it'll just make your bandwidth go so much further at your job, in your life, with your wife. Because like now I'm not even thinking about food. I have a system and it works for me. You have a system and it works for you. You have a system and it works for you. You got to figure it out if you don't have one. But that's the benefit of it.
Yes.
And
like, you have to stick to you have to set a plan and stick to a plan for a while, for an extended period
to see if it works.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's like you don't know if it works if you don't run it for more than, I would say, at least a month on most new things that you try. Minimum 6 weeks for a new diet.
The amount of people that are just like, well, I tried it for 5 days and I didn't see any results. Like, motherfucker, because the weekend came and you had that pizza because it looked good and you blamed it on the diet for the first 5 days. No, it's because you didn't stick to it. Okay? Like, we need you to stick to it so that therefore we can see where we can adjust.
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, 100%. Like,
since we're on diet, I thought of an analogy that I actually heard recently on a YouTube video, but with people falling off on the weekends. Very common occurrence.
I used to do it all the time.
Oh yeah, dude.
That bulimia life. I love me some weekends until I didn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, go.
No, you're good. Yeah, I was gonna say I've been there many times. Even like my first prep back in the day, I remember falling off on a weekend just because I was out with my friends.
Yep.
And that happens to everybody.
Yep.
But what most people mindset that they get in those situations is, oh, I'm out with my friends. I can't find any chicken rice and broccoli on this menu. I'm gonna go ahead and have 2 burgers and 2 large fries.
Yeah.
It's like, what is the mindset?
Because if I'm cheating, I might as well just cheat the whole way, right?
Yeah. It's like, no, you do not need to go all out with that. Do what you can. Like, have a system to where I'm gonna have a protein source and a veggie source. I'm not gonna have any carbs because I know that's gonna give me way too many extra calories. If I'm heavier on the fats, I know cutting that out will get me around the same calories as a normal meal. Maybe it's a little bit more, but you're making a lot better decision than having those freaking 2 cheeseburgers that you really want. And the analogy that the person used in that YouTube video, it was like, it's like, hey, so that is like a football team going out saying, hey, we're gonna legitimately beat these people 100-0. Like, we're gonna have a perfect game. They ain't gonna score a point, and we're gonna murder them. They go out right before halftime. The score is like 35-0, and then the 0 team gets a field goal.
Yeah.
They get 3 points. The perfect game's gone. That eating those 2 burgers is like that team pulling all their starters off, going to 3rd string, and letting the other team take the win, even though it's 35-3. And then it ends up 70-35, and they don't score another point. They get murdered because they didn't have their perfect game.
Yeah, it's over with. We said we were going to win 100-0, but they scored 3 points, so I'm just going to stop.
Exactly.
You guys suck. Come here.
Yes.
It's like, no.
It's like, don't do that. You don't have to ruin all your progress.
And that's the snowball effect, though.
Absolutely.
Like once you think, and humans are weird, man, because like we have a tendency to be like, oh, one thing went wrong, and then we look for the negativity. Like, oh, this next thing is going to go wrong, and then that next thing is going to go wrong. So you got to have something in place to where you're just like, nope, we're back on it. Like, boom, back on it. For me, it's a walk. So when I was bulimic, I used to just like sit there, have Netflix on, and just like, I'm just going to go get more ice cream, right? But for me now, when I feel that feeling, because I still feel that feeling of I want to go throw up, I ate too much, I have to constantly fight that feeling. For me, it's instantly, I feel this, move. And first off, it gets me out in nature, which is natural healer, but then it also helps with the digestive process, and it gets my mind away from all these inputs. So that is my system now to when I overeat. So instead of binging and purging, even if I find myself binging, it's like I feel this feeling in my stomach. I know what I want to do in my brain. I feel it up here in my throat. Go walk. It's an instant. I've trained myself, and that's the system that I've put in place. What the system that you're going to put in place is different. The system that they're going to put in place is different. As it goes back, we're going to go in a circle.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the more that you do, like, that you take action towards these things, the more systems that you're going to build for each different thing that you may struggle with, each thing that you're trying to accomplish. You're going to build, like, as you take action towards those goals, you build systems that help you get there a little faster, because you're like, oh, like, this works. I'm going to keep doing this. This didn't work. I'm going to take that out. It goes back to something actually from the military that I learned from I think it was Jocko. I think it was one of his books. But the after action report, the AAR, like just thinking about, all right, what went well, what didn't go well, what are we going to do next time? And you kind of make those assessments along the way, and that's how you adjust your system. But you do that AAR after a week of work, or like after a full mission is complete, correct?
Yep.
That's what you
Yeah. The mission has to get completed. You come back, you drop your gear, you go debrief.
Yeah.
And then that's how you figure out, like, what went wrong, what went right, where can we improve here? And, like, that's actually where a team is built. Because, like, you can go out and do the mission, like, things can be going all wrong, like you can yell at people out in the field, it doesn't matter because shit's hitting the fan out there. When you come back, you detach from the situation, and then you get in there and be like, hey, this is what wrong. That's where you actually fix things, and then create a plan to go execute. And that is the most important part. We have to figure out what we did wrong, and it might hurt. We can also discuss what we did right, because you have to reaffirm correct actions as well.
Yes.
But we also have to figure out where our downfalls are, because we can just ignore them and then we're going to do it again, or we can talk them out, fix it as a team, and then go execute on the next plan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like that's creating a system. But first you have to figure out what the hell's going on. You have to audit what you did, and that's that debrief.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, those AARs are extremely important to like be able to adjust the plan. We also can't get lost in the fact like you can't be doing that every single day and adjusting the plan
Correct.
every day.
Correct.
Like, you have to look at the bigger picture, like you said, detach and truly be honest about the situation. Like that's something we've been talking a lot about in customer service actually, and just like meetings. That's like there's always repeating themes in like in my life that I've noticed. Like I just noticed this one message keeps coming through. Josh Ward, my advisor, the other Josh Ward, posted about this recently, but he's talking about like, hey, there's just been this theme that I've heard from a lot of different people. For him, it was win the day, and for me, it's been Sorry, I just fucking lost my train of thought. My apologies.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, no. What I was saying with the theme that I've been hearing a lot recently is that be honest with yourself. Like you have to be as honest with yourself as possible to get the result that you want. Like you have to know
the man in the mirror.
Exactly.
Yep. Yep. You have to be truthful with the man in the mirror, or woman. Sorry, I'm a man, so I say man.
But yeah, no, that's required for you to make the right adjustments, but you can't adjust all the time.
No, because you have to see if it works. Like if you go and put a plan into execution, and like okay, it's new, so you're gonna stumble a little bit. Yeah. If you change on the stumble and you create a new plan, guess what happens on the next plan? You're gonna freaking stumble. You got to be able to allow it to work over a little bit of time so you can get the reps and you can get the sets in, and then you get better and better and better. And that's just like fitness too. It's called newbie gains, right? Yeah. When you're in the gym, you kind of suck at first. And then all of a sudden, when you get that neural pathway, your neural pathway with your muscles in your brain connect, and all of a sudden you can bench 20 more pounds. And it's just like, holy Christ, I just got strong. No, you just made that mind-muscle connection to where now everything is connected, and now you can push more weight. Like, it's the same thing in everything in life. Like, you're going to stumble, you're going to be a baby deer, and then all of a sudden it's just like, boom.
And it clicks.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then that's when you get rolling.
That's where, I thought of that a little bit earlier. Like, that's the no compromise mindset that you build with something like 75 hard. It's like you're not making adjustments along the way. You're like, I'm sticking to this plan, no compromises to see how it works first, and then we can make adjustments.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm finishing up 75 hard actually today. So
oh shit, it's today? Let's go. I didn't even know.
So it's pretty dope. And that's what I love about 75 hard is that it just gives you a structure, right? It's scaffolding. However you want to create your system, your habits, your routine within that, however you want to read, when you want to read. You get 10 pages, okay? Get it. Now, however you want to do it, do it. You have to have a diet. Whatever diet you want to follow, you do it, right? Whatever workouts you want to do, you do it. So, like, it's scaffolding, and then you build it out, and, like, you're going to stumble the first few days because you're like, holy shit. I gotta figure out how to do all this. Like the first couple of days, I was like, "Oh, I gotta prioritize a little bit better," and then I did, and we've been rolling through it, and I've seen some really good results, and I'm just really excited because that's all people need. Like they need a little bit of scaffolding, and then they can build their own life out, and they can just get better and better and better and better. Absolutely. And then take a step back, figure out what the hell's going wrong, what the hell's going right, and then get better and better and better and better.
Yes, sir. Yeah, dude, I love how you put that. It's like the scaffoldings to kind of keep you
It's the guide rails.
Yeah, this is the guidelines, but each person's going to be a little bit different. And that kind of, like, that goes back to kind of what I was talking about last week with the, like, hey, learn the rules, learn how to do it right first.
Yeah.
Then you can break the rules a little bit, because each, like within fitness, each person's a little bit different. So you may find something that works really well for you, may not work well for somebody else. And that's, like, you kind of breaking the rules there a little bit, but you're not breaking the law. Like you said with Arnold's quote last week.
Break some rules, but not the law.
Yeah, like the laws are hit your protein, hit your calorie goal, like do resistance training.
Drink water.
3 to 5 times a week. Yeah, walk, drink water. Like, do those things, and then any kind of little bit different things that you do, like, find out what works best.
The type of workout you want to do is different between me and you.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
Yep. How much sleep you get. You might function better on 10 hours of sleep. I might function better on 6 hours of sleep. Yeah. Give us that average of 8 hours of sleep, and look at that, right? Like, it's just scaffolding. These are the laws. Now let's figure out how you build it out in your own life. That actually just made me think of a story. It had nothing to do with fitness, but so my uncle, he had diabetes, and, you know, like, by the end of his life, like, his feet were numb, his eyes were bad, he had, you know, but he's still driving. Uncle Raj. R.I.P. Uncle Raj. But he told my mom one time, and he's just like, Robbie, it's okay. You know, I just got to know how to keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise, meaning the lines on the road.
Yeah.
So,
the yellow and the white.
Exactly. So, like, but it just got me thinking, like, hey, man, like, let's look at this as life, right? In the future, nobody knows what it holds. But if you build out these systems and you keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise, and you keep going forward, you're going to go get your future.
Yes.
But you're building your life out between the mustard and the mayonnaise. And it just made me think of my Uncle Raj. It was a good, it was just a good memory. So, like, it had nothing to do with fitness, but, like, it works for fitness.
Yeah,
it works
absolutely.
for a healthy lifestyle. Like, because you can't see the future, just like he couldn't see the fucking road.
That is not.
But he knew how to keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise, and he knew to keep going that way.
He made it home safe. That's all that matters.
Majority of the time.
Most of the time. Oh no.
Oh man, that's funny.
I love that.
Man.
But yeah, no, some, like, with you saying that we both train very differently, I mean, you think of something like, both of us have put on a lot of muscle too. Like, you don't train like a bodybuilder, but you fucking look like one, Sully. Like,
thank you.
You don't have to train a specific way to build muscle. You know, like,
we can all get different
types
results.
of training work for different people, and you don't have to, like. Makes me think of another thing that most people think is 100% true for, like, muscle building is, like, hey, the 8 to 12 rep range is the best rep range for every single person to build muscle for hypertrophy. That is not true.
No.
Like, you can do anywhere, like, it's very well studied, you can do anywhere from 5 reps to 30 reps in a set, and you can still build a ton of muscle in that entire range.
And respectfully, power lifters and Olympic lifters have a lot of muscle mass, and they're really, really strong.
Yeah.
And they stick more towards the 5 rep range.
I was going to say,
on a big day.
They're ones that do 1 to 5 a lot of the time, too, not even in that muscle.
And their muscle mass, they got a lot of muscle mass on those boys. And girls.
Yeah, you see the thighs on some of those Olympic lifters.
You want to talk about guys with thighs, thick boys.
Yeah, if you can freaking snatch 400 pounds over your head,
it's
like,
insane.
You've got some crazy power.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but yeah, no, anywhere in that 5 to 30 rep range works, but you also can find out what works best for you, and it's not just for you too, it's for each different muscle group as well. That's where it can change a lot. Like, for me personally, I'll just go through a couple different things. Like, with my chest, 5 to 10 rep range is the best. Like, I did a 5x5 with Big Brian and them back in the day, if you remember that, when we were in the early mornings. And I think that was one of the most my chest grew at all. Like, out of the whole time I was bulking, I think my chest grew the most in a 5x5, which is technically like powerlifting for strength. I gained the most in my chest then. For legs, it's 15 to 20. Sometimes
you need that volume on them.
Yeah, on everything. Like, with arms and calves, I can do 20 plus, like 15 to 30, because they're smaller muscle groups, and especially with calves, you hit them every single day with walking.
Yep.
You're going to need a lot more volume. If you want to grow your calves and you're doing them once per week and doing like 3 sets, you don't really want to grow your calves. You need to do those multiple times a week, multiple sets, get as much volume with them as you can.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's like, that's where chest is low reps. My arms are high reps. Well, actually, think about my arms. My biceps, higher reps. Triceps are lower reps.
Really?
100%. And I can train my biceps with more volume than my triceps. My triceps will get sore, like way more sore than my biceps do. I can do biceps 3 times a week. Triceps, gotta stick to 2 for me. But yeah, no, so it's different for each person. Like, I found different rep ranges work for different exercises, even within the same muscle group. So, kind of gotta plug and play. You gotta see what works, and you have to execute it for a while to see if it actually works. Going back to my point earlier, like, you have to execute for 2 weeks on an exercise or a full month before you actually like see a difference, and then try something else. And then you figure out what works for you. That's how systems work. You try something for a little bit, assess the results that you got, and then, okay, AAR, what worked well, what didn't. I'm gonna apply this.
Adjust
the next time.
Yep. I always say, you get knocked down, stand up, dust off, assess, adjust, execute.
Exactly.
Like, that's what you have to do. Like, in every aspect of life, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, work life, like everything. Like, you're gonna get knocked down, gotta get up, dust off a little bit, you gotta figure out what the hell went wrong. I always say audit. I just said adjust. I always say audit. And then create a plan and execute. And I gotta realize that a good plan executed with a violent intention is better than a perfect plan never acted upon. All right? So
that's powerful.
Dude, I'm telling you, get a good plan and execute, because a perfect plan doesn't exist. So,
no.
I'm just going to mic drop it and leave it there. Do you have anything else for us today?
No, I think we're good right there, honestly.
Beautiful. How about you lead us in prayer? Doesn't have to be a long one, doesn't have to be a nothing. How about you do that for us?
All right, let's get it.
Appreciate you.
All right, thank you, Heavenly Father, for this beautiful day and for giving us life. Every single day that we get to wake up and help change the world, help change the lives of others around us is a great day to be alive. And every single day we have that opportunity. I want to thank you for all the amazing people that you put in our lives in the First Phorm family, because there's really no other place like this on the planet. There's really no other community other than your community within the church that really is going to lift each other up, care for each other, and really like do the best to help others win, completely selfless. So I just want to thank you for the amazing community that we have. I want to ask you to help us change the world, help us carry out that mission with impacting as many lives as we possibly can. And just want to say thank you for the simple things that you put in our life to be able to do that, like our shelter, like social media. We're able to use that in a positive way to be able to help other people. So I want to thank you. I love you, Lord, and please help us carry out that mission in changing the entire world.
Amen. Good episode 6.